Video games are the devil. They steal your youth away from you. They're a monumental waste of time, and they're an escape from your sad reality. At least that's what self-improvement YouTubers say. The most popular one now being Hamza. There's no doubt you've seen him. Hamza is one of the largest growing self-improvement channels on YouTube right now, and it's honestly great to see. I haven't seen a channel grow this fast since the early days of Base Zeus, and it's cool to see the next generation of YouTubers pop up in the space. He has a much healthier perspective on dating than most people in the space right now, and if you're paying attention, the dating space has gotten a lot more toxic over the years. Although you guys know I'm not a fan of self-improvement the same way I was in the past. I actually think Hamza deserves all the growth he's getting. He has a strong understanding of the YouTube game and is playing it well. This is by no means a hate video, but are video games really as bad as Hamza and other self-improvement YouTubers say? This is what I'd like to discuss today. From the ages of 18 to 21 years old, I was absolutely addicted to Rainbow Six Siege. I played every night I could, and I was even ranked Platinum 1, which for the noobs means I was in the top 5% of players. After a long day, I'd sit down, relax, slay some noobs, and my girlfriend would sit in bed next to me and watch. It was one of her favorite things to do. Watch me play Rainbow Six. It was honestly some of the most fun I've ever had on a video game still to this day, and I still miss it sometimes. I played an average of 3 to 4 nights a week, and every time I'd play for an hour or two. This might sound super unhealthy and like a terrible addiction, yet during this same period of my life, I started a multiple six-figure business, gained 1 million subscribers on YouTube in 2 years, was in good physical shape, had a six-pack, had multiple girlfriends, was a full-time university student with 3.2 GPA, and still partied multiple nights per week. And looking back on it, I don't regret a second I spent playing video games. I don't think video games had a negative impact on my life at the time at all. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But the point is I was still able to quickly achieve all my goals in that period of time. But how is this possible if video games are supposedly the devil like most self-improvement YouTubers say? How is this possible?
How, Sway? You ain't got the answers, man.
If you've watched any of Hamza's content, you'll see that he has a running theme of hating on video games. He's very adamant about it. But Hamza's experience is not your experience. Hamza's life is not your life. The life of a human is complex and highly specific to the context of who you are. Context always matters. Taking your life and someone else's and trying to create a perfect one-to-one comparison is impossible. Video games might have been terrible for Hamza, but might be a non-issue for you. They might be a net negative for the majority of people who play them, but you are not the majority. You are you. You are an individual. You are not a statistic. Perhaps the statistic applies to you, but perhaps it doesn't. You have to use your own brain. You find yourself addicted to video games and procrastinating important tasks in favor of video games, then chances are video games are a problem for you and you should cut back. But you have to do this analysis on your own. You have to honestly look at yourself and your life and see if it's detrimental to you and your goals. You can't just take another person's word at face value. You have to analyze it within the context of you and your own life. It's idiotic to take my word, Hamza's word, or any other person's word as gospel, as truth, because life is messy and complex. It does not fit into neat little rules or neat little principles or hacks. You have to figure out what's true in the context of your own messy life. This black and white thinking that video games are bad, full stop, is not only not true, but it's counterproductive to taking an honest, rational analysis at your own life. For me, video games were not an issue. I played them and was still insanely productive. At the time, work and my goals came first. In fact, I've had periods where I was super unproductive and I still wasn't playing any video games. This gets at the core of my issue with the self-improvement space as a whole. It tends to give blanket prescriptions and create generalizations, rules of what's good and what's bad. But the truth is that there is no good or bad. Whether something is useful to you or not is entirely dependent on you and the context of your life. And nobody knows or understands the context of your life better than you, which is why oftentimes the best way to improve yourself is to look within rather than to look to YouTube or a book for the next hack or tip to change your life. Because for every rule, you can always find an exception, which makes you think, is it really a rule if it can be broken or disproven? Just last month, I was staying with a friend who's worth multiple 8 figures, a super wealthy guy. And every single day that I was there staying with him, I watched him play 2 to 3 hours worth of video games. I could theoretically say, hey man, you shouldn't play video games. They're bad for you, you know, they make you lose focus and it's gonna ruin your life. Yet he's the multi-millionaire with a famous girlfriend. So who am I, or who is anyone to tell him that he's doing his life wrong? If he's able to get that much out of his own life, it's because he probably knows what's best for him and he doesn't need to listen to anyone else. All that being said, most people playing video games are probably doing it unhealthily. Yes, and for the record, I haven't played video games in I don't even know how long at this point, and I don't have much desire to go back. Although when Modern Warfare 2 drops and the new Warzone map drops, I might have to drop a couple late nights on there, I'm not gonna lie. But just being honest, you know? This isn't a hate video on Hamza or anyone else or any other self-improvement YouTuber. It's just another perspective of mine being thrown into the ether. So don't go saying, oh, Benjamin said Hamza sucks. No, I didn't. I wish the guy nothing but the best, and I think he has a dope future ahead of him. And if you found this valuable, be sure to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, where I share all of these lessons in bite-sized pieces. And be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. See you guys soon.